Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Syifa Salsabila. In this video, I would like to give my personal review concerning on summarizing or paraphrasing an English academic text such as research articles and literature review articles. So I have watched some YouTube videos about how to summarize or how to paraphrase and the explanation about those practices, and I would like to talk about the similarities and differences between summarizing and paraphrasing. Okay, first I would like to talk about the similarities. The first one is that both practices require us to convey someone else's ideas in our own words. So we need to rewrite the ideas without copying from the original text. So we need to use synonyms or change the word order or etc. And the other similarity is that we need to put the author's name. So if we summarize or paraphrase a text, we need to put the author's name on the sentence that we write. However, there are some differences between two practices. So the first one is summary is a shorter version of the original text. It differs from paraphrase, which rephrase original ideas in our own words without removing any kind of information. So when you summarize a text, you might find some unnecessary or irrelevant ideas in the text. So you can just ignore them and you don't have to rewrite it, because in summary we just need to put the main ideas or the important points of what is the text about. We might put some most important details, but for the unnecessary or irrelevant ideas, we can just ignore them and do not rewrite it. But the paraphrase, we cannot remove any information. In summary, we often put the author's name and the title of the articles or the books that we summarized in the first sentence or the opening sentence of our summary. But in paraphrasing, there are many ways to put the author's name, and in paraphrasing we do not need to put the title of the article of or the books that we refer. We can put the author's name in the first or in the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence, and we need to put the year of publication. Okay, the next thing that I would like to talk about is how to summarize an English academic text. So there are some strategies and techniques that we can use in order to summarize an English academic text and paraphrase a passage. So first, for strategies for summarizing, the first thing that we want to do is, of course, read the passage over and over. This is important to do because we want to have the comprehension or the understanding about what is the text about. So we have the information that we need to rewrite it. And next, we can scan for the main ideas or the main points by using highlighters. We can highlight the important points and main ideas that related to the topic or the title of the text, and then we can use different highlighters to separate the general ideas and detailed ideas. After we find the important ideas, we can make a list of those important ideas and create an outline in our own words without changing the order of the information that we gained. Okay, in writing the summary, the first thing that we have to do is to the opening sentence, which contains the author's names and the title of the articles that we have read. And in making the list of important ideas, if it is necessary, we can add a little bit of the important details to support the ideas in order to make understanding to the reader. Try to not look at the passage while we write the summary. This is to make sure that we write our summary using our own words, or if our summary is using similar language to the original text, we can use synonyms or change the word order or the structure of the sentence. For example, passive the voice, or moves the dependent clause and this independent clause, and etc. It is also important to use transitions such as first, second, third in the same order as the original text, and write it clearly and understandable. Remember that summary is not too long or not too short, and don't add your own ideas or opinion in a summary. After you write your summary, check the original text again and compare between your summary and the original text. Check whether it is correct or not, whether it's appropriate or not, and you are free to make some changes in your article so that your article would be better and acceptable. Alright, let's move on to paraphrasing. So the tricks for paraphrasing is not significantly different from summarizing. The difference is that summary is the shorter version and you can remove the information, but in paraphrasing you cannot remove any information from the text that you want to paraphrase. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is to read the passage over and over and understand the passage comprehensively. It is very important so that the idea that you rewrite is the same as the original one. You can think about how to convey it in different words using your own understanding and your own words. It will be easier for you to write it in your own words. After you try to write it in your own words, you can compare to the original text. So if you find some similar words that have already written in the original text, you can use some grammar change, but remain the same ideas as the original one. Okay, so here are some tips in changing the grammar without changing the meaning of a text. First, use synonyms. Synonyms are the words which have similar meanings, but remember that you cannot change the specific terms. If you try to use the synonyms of the specific terms that have already specified, the meaning can be different than the original one. So you need to use synonyms carefully and notice about some collocations that already have the specific meaning. Next, you can move parts of the sentence. You can move the independent clause in the beginning or in the end of the sentence, and vice versa. Next is change the parts of speech. There are many ways for you to change the parts of speech because there are several parts of speech which can enrich your way of expressing the ideas. Next is change affirmative to negative or vice versa. If we want to change affirmative to negative, we need to think about the words which have the same meaning. Next is combine sentences or break up sentences. In order to differ the way we write the ideas, we can break one sentence into 2 or 3 sentences and combine 2 or 3 sentences into one sentence. Next is change active to passive voice. If the original text uses active voice, we can paraphrase the words to passive voice and vice versa. The notable point is that the idea must stay the same, but the words must be on your own. So now we have some information on how to paraphrase or how to summarize an English academic text. But practically it is not as easy as we thought, because there are some difficulties in summarizing or paraphrasing, especially English academic texts where the language is not your first language. So I would like to share my difficulties in summarizing or paraphrasing a text. And my difficulties in summarizing or paraphrasing a text is that it's not easy to comprehend the unfamiliar words or vocabularies that I do not know the meaning. I must reread it in order to fully understand about the ideas. And then it is also hard to use synonyms appropriately. Sometimes if we only search for the same meaning, we can find a bunch of different words which have the same meaning, but how to use it appropriately to replace the original words, it is very difficult. Sometimes it does not match the context. So the thing is that I need to match the context and the words that appropriately used to paraphrase a text. For the summarizing, sometimes I find it difficult to separate the most important ideas and the less important ideas, because if the difference between the most essential ideas and the less essential ideas is very subtle, sometimes I read it and I think all of the information is important to be written in the summary. The summary became too long. Okay, that concludes my personal review on how to summarize or paraphrase any academic text, especially in English. Thank you so much for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.